Good morning. Thank you. My name is Ryan Paul. I teach history here on campus, and I'm also the director of A.P.E.X. On behalf of myself and the A.P.E.X team, Sophie Javage and Evan Miller, I want to welcome you to Go Be Brave. I'd also like to thank the Eccles Foundation, the April and Randy Earl family, Glenn and Celesta Lyman, and the Provost's office for making this event possible. I'd like to remind you today that today's conversation will continue this afternoon at 3 p.m. on Thunder 91.1 and on the A.P.E.X Radio Hour podcast. And it will be as exciting as the last second shot in last night's basketball game. So there you go. Before Leon Logothetis became a global adventurer, TV host, motivational speaker, and best-selling author, he was living an uninspired and disconnected life as a broker in London. On the outside, it looked like he had it all, but inside, he was chronically depressed. He decided to do something radical about it, give it all up for a life on the road. He embarked on an adventure around the globe, fueled by the receiving and giving of kindness. On his journey, he found the essence of humanity and learned about the bonds that connect people worldwide. Through kindness, he discovered that when we start to compare ourselves by our similarities instead of our differences, we start to create a brighter future. For over a decade, he has traveled to over 100 countries, to every continent. He's documented his experiences through his best-selling books and TV shows. Leon has devoted his life to inspiring the world with his message of kindness and hope. This is best shown through his hit TV show, The Kindness Diaries, now streaming on Discovery+. He worked with many well-being brands and companies to ignite a spark of love, adventure, and humanity into their message and expand their global awareness. While he's not making TV shows and writing books, he's traveling around the world, speaking to schools and businesses about the power of kindness, compassion, and empathy. Leon's goal is to always make a positive impact with his work and content. I should note that we have two of Leon's books, The Kindness Diaries and Go Be Kind, which is an amazing experience to read and work through if you get a chance. Those are for purchase out in the lobby, and Leon will host a book signing out there after his presentation. Leon is also the founder of Winston Entertainment, a travel adventure television production company that produces content that highlights the good in humanity. It is now my pleasure to welcome Leon Logothetis to Southern Utah University and the A.P.E.X stage.
Hello. That was quite a welcome. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to live up to that, but we'll see. You may be wondering to yourselves, why is there an Englishman at my university? Well, by the end of this little chat, I'm sure that that will be answered. But first of all, what am I here today to talk to you about? When was the last time that you were brave? Now, some people may think that bravery is going off to war. That's pretty brave in my book, but that's not my definition of bravery. Some people may think that bravery is going into a burning building to save a child. That's pretty brave, but that's not my definition of bravery. I am here today to talk to you about speaking your truth. To me, that is the bravest thing that each and every one of us can do. Speaking your truth sharing your pain, and ultimately standing in your power. Here's a little secret for you. I used to be a child. Many, many, many years ago, I used to be a child. And every day, I would walk into school and I would be bullied mercilessly. Everyone in this room has some kind of trauma. This is my trauma. One day, someone thought that it was cool to take this exact picture, photocopy it, put prison bars on it, write mean things in it, and put it all over the school. This type of stuff would happen every day, for years. But I never told anyone. I never spoke my truth to anyone. But that all changed one day when I went into my mother's room because I was broken to the point of feeling unable to be fixed. And I told her what was going on. I spoke my truth. She took me out of that school. She put me into a new school. And at the end of that conversation, she asked me a question that changed my life. She said to me, "Leon, my darling, what do you truly want to be when you grow up?" And I sat there and I said, "Mum, I want to be a travel host." And she said, "I believe in you. Anything is possible." All started by me speaking my truth. I know that everyone in this room has a truth that maybe they're not sharing. Everyone has a truth that maybe is bubbling up inside them. Whether it's they want a new job, whether it's they want to share something with their partner. To me, bravery is speaking your truth. It's like a seed. You speak your truth and you put that seed into the ground. And you spend your life watering that seed. And ultimately, that seed becomes an oak tree. But unless you speak your truth, there will never be that oak tree. 10 years later, I found myself in rehab. Because with that seed, you have to keep watering it, right? Because if you stop watering it, there will be no oak tree. And I met the scariest man I've ever seen. It isn't exactly this guy, but he was a Navy SEAL. And he looked very scary to me. And I thought, wow, this man's brave. But at the end of those 2 or 3 weeks, I was there for depression, anxiety, addictions. He turns around and he says something that changed my life. He said, "People think I am brave because I am a Navy SEAL. But the truth is, the true bravery is sharing our feelings in this room. That is the true bravery." And I never forgot that moment. Because what we think is bravery, although that may be brave, isn't the true essence of our humanity, which is to speak our truth. So you may know, or you may not know, that if you Google the kindness guy, my face comes up. You can be in Tanzania, you can be in Morocco, and Google the kindness guy and my face comes up. How did I end up becoming the kindness guy? Simple. At 15, I spoke my truth. At 25, I spoke my truth. And at 28, 13 years of watering this seed to become an oak tree, I was sitting in a job that I hated as a broker in the City of London, continuing to be depressed, continuing to live a life I didn't want to live, but I'd continue to water that seed. And one day I saw the movie The Motorcycle Diaries, a romanticized version of Che Guevara traveling around South America relying on kindness. And I had an epiphany. I didn't have to live behind that slab of wood. There's no issue with working behind a slab of wood, if that's what you want to do. I decided to quit my job, start traveling around the world. I bought a vintage yellow motorbike, called it Kindness One, sort of like Air Force One, but a little bit yellower, and I drove it from LA all the way around Earth, back to LA, with no food, no gas, no place to stay, nothing. No money. All I had was relying on people like you. I couldn't accept money. And unsuspecting Good Samaritans would receive a life-changing gift. And people often say to me, that was pretty brave of you to do that, Leon. But what they don't remember and what they don't know is that it all began when I walked into my mother's room and I spoke my truth. And I was watering that seed for 15 years. And I continue to water that seed. So think what it is that you truly want. You don't need to share it with anyone. But right now, just have a think about it as I show you a movie or a little clip of my trip around the world.
My name is Leon. I was living an uninspiring life on Wall Street, sitting behind a slab of wood, crunching numbers. I decided that there must be more to life. Kindness One and I are about to embark on an epic journey. A journey powered solely by kindness.
Can I live in your house tonight?
Unfortunately, I don't have a house. I'm homeless right now. I take this blanket here.
We want to put you up in a house, enroll you in some kind of certificate program where you can make your way again in life. So Willie, why the kindness, man?
I don't know, it's just something I've always been raised with.
How does Willie help your life? How does that make you feel?
I feel like I'm out of the human race.
We want to pay for you to go to England for your son's wedding.
You're a joke.
I'm absolutely not joking.
That's an answer to prayer.
Can I be cheeky and give you a kiss on the cheek goodbye?
Oh, absolutely. I can turn the other cheek, too.
Okay. Are you a cowboy?
Oh, no! This is bad!
I can't believe that I'm in the tunnel that saved the city of Sarajevo. Giving sight to the poor for free, it's beyond words. We will fund 100 surgeries. You need to help me, I'm serious. The bike is finished. I need to find a mechanic. I literally haven't eaten in a day. Can I stay with you tonight? Are we there yet? Can I spend the night in your house tonight? Do you speak English? The life of an Indian farmer is not for me. I'm gonna free you.
We're missionaries. We would love to offer a place for you to stay tonight.
Made it all the way from Hollywood on kindness. Staying with us tonight.
Welcome. Our kindness to you.
I would kiss you, but I
Oh, no, you wouldn't. No, you wouldn't. But I would hug you.
Good
I would hug
man.
you.
Good
Thank
man.
you.
We are going to build her a house. It's true.
This is real. It's going to happen.
Nothing this is like monumental. You go to school again? Yeah. Thank you.
They say that giving is better than receiving. And in many ways, that's true.
People often say to me, Leon, you went on this amazing journey. What did you learn? Well, I learned a lot. But the most profound thing I learned is that we are all the same. At the base of our humanity, we want to be seen. We want to be heard. We want to be loved. And we want to create something long-lasting. We want to be magnificent. There's a picture of me in India, in the slums of India with my friend Diru. On the outside in those slums, a lot of poverty, a lot of pain. But when you go inside and you feel their heart, they are just like us. I remember going onto the roof of his house, and he was sharing his dreams. He wanted to own his own rickshaw. He was speaking his truth. And I sat there and I listened. We are all the same. Every single person inside this room has a truth that's bubbling up inside them. What do you really want? Look, I'm not here to tell you that it is easy to speak your truth. Because if it was easy, I wouldn't be standing on stage, right? You'd be like, it's like how to sit in a chair. That was a joke, not very funny. Right? Okay? It's not easy to speak your truth. It's not easy to stand in your power. This is Nelson Mandela. 27 years in prison. Nelson Mandela. In those 27 years, he had to make a decision. He had to make a choice. How am I going to show up? Am I going to show up with hate? Or am I going to show up with love? When Nelson Mandela left that prison cell after 27 years, he became the Nelson Mandela that we know. President of South Africa, pretty much the only man that could unite that country. He chose to speak his truth from a place of love. And everyone in this room has a Nelson Mandela, a Mother Teresa inside them. And it all starts by planting that one seed of speaking your truth about what it is that you truly want. That is how it all starts. I was doing a TV show a few years back, and I ended up in Argentina. And believe it or not, I ended up in a maximum security prison. And you may be wondering to yourself, why is this man continually talking about prison? And there's more talk about prison later on as well. I'll tell you why. Because most of us are stuck in the prison of our minds. And we will never be free. We may not be in an actual prison cell, but we are stuck in a prison cell. And speaking your truth starts the process of becoming free. So I was walking around the prison and I said to the warden, I'd like you to leave me in this cell Symbolically for 27 minutes. Symbolically. He looked at me like I was a little bit of a nut job, but he said, okay, no worries, I'll leave you in the cell for 27 minutes. So I sat in that cell for 27 minutes, and I had an epiphany. It was in that moment of not being bothered for 27 minutes and having Mandela, his energy, feeling his energy, that I came up with the concept of the seed and the oak tree, with the concept of freeing ourselves by being brave, with the concept of speaking our truth. Remember, what is it that you truly want? Feel it. Most of us live from our minds. Some of us, the greats, Mother Teresa, Martin Luther King, Gandhi, Nelson Mandela, live from here. I would like everyone to put their hands on their hearts. And I want you to think, or no, better not, I want you to feel what it is that you truly want. What do you want in this great adventure called life? What do you want? Think of one thing. Think of one thing that you would have the bravery to actually speak into the world. What do you want? And keep that close to your heart for the rest of this little chat. And hopefully for the rest of your life, to be honest. Sometimes people say to me, Leon, I've heard that you're English. And I've heard that the English are really clever. What is the difference between bravery and courage? Is there any difference? And the answer, of course, is yes. Bravery, as I've shared many times, is speaking your truth. Courage is taking action. Whatever it is that you feel in your heart that you want, if you are able at some point, hopefully today, to speak that into the world, you are being brave. But if you do nothing to make it a reality, and you show no courage, and you don't water that seed, then nothing will happen. And that's the truth. I spoke my truth to my mother. I heard truth with a Navy SEAL. And then finally, when I was 28, I started to take action. Sometimes it takes time. Bravery is speaking your truth, and courage is taking action. So this is where things start to get interesting, and people start to leave. Why is that, Leon? Because believe it or not, but this is not a speech about bravery. Wow. The man has been lying to me for 23 minutes. And believe it or not, the speech is not even about courage. Oh, I've had enough. Open the doors. The speech is, in fact, about becoming magnificent. And every single person in this room deserves to live out their own magnificence. Every single one of you. Now you may be wondering, what is that? I believe some of you know what that is. The Shawshank Redemption. Who's seen the movie The Shawshank Redemption? All right, some of you. Again, the Englishman is talking about prison. This is a movie about prison. For those of you who don't know what it's about, a man who's wrongly accused, spends 25 years in prison, and spends 25 years building a tunnel to escape. And this is the moment that he has crawled through the final 500 yards of sewer filth to become free. Magnificence, right? The man is living a moment of magnificence which every single one of us deserves. When I was a kid, I wasn't very good at math. But this is the bravery equation. And it's kind of simple, right? Think about what you were thinking about or feeling when I asked you to put your hand on your heart. And put that through the bravery equation. Bravery, speaking your truth. Plus courage, taking action. Equals a magnificent life. Pretty simple. Sometimes there are people who do not want you to become magnificent. We all know those people. For whatever reason, they do not want you to become magnificent. This is a chemistry report card. I found it a couple of years back. Although he is no genius, which is code word for Leon is a moron. Right? I remember looking at this and thinking to myself, here's someone that does not want me to become magnificent. You can all relate. You know people who don't want you to become magnificent. I decided to frame this, put it by my bed. Every morning I look at it and I remind myself that there are people that do not want us to become magnificent. And they will not win. And every time I write a new book, I send him a copy. Dear Mr. Morell, I hope you're having a good year. Best of luck, Leon. Do not let them win. You deserve to live the greatest life that you could possibly ever live. Which of course starts by bravely speaking your truth and then taking action. Speaking your truth is not just about speaking your truth to someone else. It's about speaking your truth to yourself. I told you earlier, you go to Tanzania, you go to Morocco, you put the kindness guy in, my face shows up. But that's not all the truth, is it? That on some level is a mask. I told you that I'd been bullied as a kid and my life was on some levels destroyed as a child. That's the truth, but it's not all the truth. The kindness guy bullied his brother for years. When you Google that, or you Google my name, that doesn't show up. But we have to speak truth to ourselves. We have to speak truth to ourselves. Some people will tell you that they're self-made men or self-made women. I did it alone. If anyone tells you that they did it alone, they're not speaking truth to themselves and they're not speaking truth to you. Because we need each other. To be great, we need each other. We are not islands. We need each other. Simple. Feeling connected to each other is a basic human need. You cannot do this alone. When you speak your truth, you need someone else to hear your truth. You all have cards, postcards. On the front, it says, I'm about to go be brave. And you are. And it feels magnificent. And on the back, it says, Dear Leon, what I want more than anything in the world is. And then it says, I'm going to burn my ships. What on earth is he talking about? Burn my ships. Well, the conquistadors did many bad things. One of the things they did, which enabled them to do those bad things, but we're going to use it to do good things, is they burnt their ships when they arrived. So they couldn't go back. So this is what we're going to do. This is the homework for today. You're going to find a truth buddy. Right? And you're going to write down the thing that you held your heart with and felt you wanted most in the world. And then you're going to write down how you're going to burn your ships. What are you going to do to make sure that you take the courage, you take the action to make your dreams come true? Now, you may not have a truth buddy, but I will be your truth buddy. Put a postage stamp on it. You don't need to mention your name. Send it to me. And you will be accountable to me. Bravely speak your truth. Number 1. Courageously take action. Number 2. Who's in? No one. Great. Like 9% of you. All right. So, that is a Navy SEAL. Oh, great, the Englishman's lying to me again. No, not lying to you. She is an emotional Navy SEAL. As well as circumnavigating the world, I took a vintage 50-year-old Beetle and I drove it from Alaska all the way down to Argentina in the middle of winter when it was snowing out there. The car was so old that it was snowing in the car. It wasn't a happy experience. A Navy SEAL, her name is Rena. She is an emotional Navy SEAL. Just like everyone in this room has the capacity to be that. She went through a lot. I'm going to show you guys a video in a moment. But she decided to take her pain and turn it into something magnificent. She set up a charity that looks after stray dogs. She spent her life watering that seed until it became that greatest of oak trees. I'm going to show you a quick video of my good friend Rena.
Hello, hello. I learned Rena, who is a volunteer, has dedicated every day of her life and literally every inch of her home to saving stray animals. It's total madness. Complete and utter madness. But there's so much love here, but it's still madness. I just had to know more about this incredible lady.
She helps even the clinic. The clinic couldn't care about a dog. She would say, no, I can have it, I can have it.
So she takes dogs that the clinic can't have?
Yeah, she's like a woman who has like a huge heart.
Yes, I can see.
Even that she doesn't have a lot of money, but she has like a lot to share, you know, a lot of love.
She knows all the names of her dogs, all 35 of them.
Se sabe todos los nombres de 31. A él responde.
Todos los nombres.
First, she spoke about her passion for helping.
Yo no pude tener hijos, pero Dios sabrá por qué no me dio hijos. Todo ese amor que yo he tenido contenido en mi corazón, lo he depositado en los animalitos de la calle. Siempre digo yo que ellos son los hijos que no pude tener. Y ellos son la razón de vivir mía.
Then, I learned about her pain.
Nosotros fuimos abandonados por mi madre. Y mi padre, en venganza de eso, de lo que mi madre le hizo, nos quiso regalar. Nos quiso regalar como que si fuéramos unos animalitos. Entonces yo me vi reflejada en los animalitos de la calle abandonados. Entonces desde muy tierna me refugié en el amor de los animales. Porque el amor de los animales es un amor incondicional, un amor puro, que muchas personas no lo tienen. Y siempre yo, mientras que Dios me dé vida, seguiré luchando por los animales. Con todo cariño y con todo amor. Un animalito es mala comparación como un cristiano, que hay que darle cariño, amor, cuidado.
She's a very, very beautiful lady.
Que usted es una muy, muy hermosa mujer.
Gracias. Gracias.
I spent most of my life trying to figure out, how did Nelson Mandela do it? How did he spend 27 years in prison and come out as the Nelson Mandela we all know? How did he do it? And the answer came to me in a field in upstate New York. I had decided to spend 72 hours with no phone, no music, no computer, in a little tiny house in a field in New York State. And I was on the 71st hour. I was a little bit delirious at this point, I must admit. But it came to me in a flash. He did it two ways. First, he came from his heart, which each and every one of you, myself included, can do. Second, he had a mission. He had a mission. And each and every one of you has the potential to have a mission. Heart and mission. That is how Mandela did it. And you get the chance with these postcards to write down what it is you want in your heart and to write down how you're going to get to that place of mission. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? Nelson Mandela. Bravery is speaking your truth. Bravery is sharing your pain. But most importantly, bravery is standing in your power. So I need one person. There is no need to share what you want, to share what's in your heart, but I need one person to stand in their power whilst feeling what it is that they truly want. One person who is willing to stand up in their power. Thank you. Keep standing. Keep stand. If you want to stand, stand up. If you want to stand in your power, this is the moment. If you want to inspire other people to stand in their power, this is the moment. If you want to ignite the Nelson Mandela, the Mother Teresa that lives inside you, this is the moment to stand in your power. Everyone stand up. And remember, as Maya Angelou once said, people don't remember what you say to them. They remember how you make them feel. And as we are all standing in our power, and we are all feeling the energy in this room, take that energy out there, find one person to speak your truth to, burn your ships, and I promise you, I don't know how long it will take, but I promise you that you will start living a magnificent life. I promise you. Everyone sit down. And I will finish with one last thing. You have two choices. Choice number one is that you walk out of this room and you forget everything I said. And you forget every feeling I tried to instill in you, and you go on with your life, and that's all good. The second choice is you find the strength of that inner kid that lives inside you. And you say what? You say no more. Now is when everything changes. Now is when I'm going to speak my truth. Now is when I'm going to take action. Now. I'm going to plant that seed right now. And I'm going to spend the rest of my life watering it until it becomes that oak tree. You get to choose. Thank you very much.